So basically, you should have a file open that has two blocks completed, the workstation and the conference table. We're going to do the rest of them, and it's going to look something like this. So you should have this printed out or saved onto your computer so you guys can have access to it. I'm going to skip the first one for now. We're going to leave the dimensions out. We're going to do that later. We're going to start with the file cabinet. It's a 3-foot by 18-inch cabinet. So to do that, I would go to my Home tab bar, making sure that I have OSNAP on for future use and Ortho. I'm going to go to Rectangle. I'm going to start a rectangle at the center left bottom corner, something like that, right here. And I'm going to type in D for dimension because it gives you an option here. Specify other corner point or D for dimension. The new version of AutoCAD allows you to select the option. So it highlights here, you just click on it instead of typing it out. Your first length will be the horizontal length, which is 3 feet. And the other one is 18 inches or 1'6".
The screen is not.
Oh my god. Thanks, guys. Okay, so basically we use the rectangle command, start left bottom corner, and instead of typing in D for dimension, we're going to just click on this area here. And that gives us dimension tab, which specifies the length, which is actually the horizontal length. So it's going to be 3 feet. And the vertical, which is the width, is going to be 1'6", or you can just do 18 inches. And we're going to place it. It's going to ask you where you want to place it, so which quadrant you want to place it. We're going to put it here. Now, if you don't like the positioning of it, you can always move it by using the move command, which is up here. Select the move command, select the object you would like to move. And of course, it's going to ask you, would you like to select any more? No, I'm done, so I right-click. And now it's going to ask me to specify a base point of displacement. So select the point where you want to move it from and to a point where you want it to be. So right here. So move it from here to here. Got it to about the center of the box here. It's going to create a line that's across to finish up that file. Now, the other thing is we're going to add the dimensions. Looks like it already had dimensions to it. So you go to your linear dimensions here, or you can go to annotate dimensions. It's the same thing, Home tab and annotate. So you can see that it says annotate here. That's actually a shortcut to that tab. Same with, there's nothing else I can show you. But yeah, so you annotate dimension, and we create a dimension by snapping onto the endpoint and endpoint. That's why I had my OSNAP on. We create that. The only issue is it's not the same color. That means it's in a different layer. So if I want to place dimensions, which I normally would do at the end once I have everything completed, I just wanted to show you guys in the beginning, but let's say I need to change this to froze. I need to change the layer. I select the object that I would like to change the layer. Go to my Home tab, and over here where you have your layers, you're going to select dimension. It gives you a dark blue. Also, since I was working on layer 0, that's also incorrect. I should have had layer furniture on. Right? So to fix this file cabinet to be on the furniture layer, I need to select it also and change it to furniture layer. Now, if you don't like the colors, right now I'm blue and blue, which is not something I should have. But you can go to Format Layers, and here you can change the colors to your own preference. So I'm going to change the layer for the furniture to something brighter, or at least a different contrast, to green. So my dimensions are in dark blue, and my actual blocks furniture is going to be in green. That way I can catch on if I'm working on layer 0 or I'm working on my furniture layer. So we also need to create the other dimension, but wait, before you do that, make sure you switch your layer, so that way when you do the dimension, it goes into that same layer. Now, if you want the text to be in between the arrows or out, all you have to do is select the dimension, select the blue point of the text itself and just drag it to the place you like it to be, like so. And then if you need to stretch this out back more, all you have to do is grab the blue at the corner and stretch it back. The blue you want to grab is the one by the arrows, so that's the one you want to use to move the text back and forth. This one's to move, to move the dimension, and this is to move the text, is the center one. And the corners is just to move the endpoint of the dimension to change the actual dimension size. Alright, so we move on to the next one. Before I start, go back to my furniture layer. I'm going to also do a rectangle since it's a pretty simple square object. It's 2'4" by 2'2". So I'm going to go to the rectangle command, select the point, click D for dimension, and I'm going to type in 2 feet /4 for 2'4", and 2 feet. Don't forget the foot symbol /2. And that creates that box, and you just have to click to place it into its position. Second box will be the backrest of the chair, which is 6 inches by 2'4". So I'm going to do rectangle. Doesn't have to be exactly in the same place. We're going to move it back into its position. I'm going to create it somewhere here so it doesn't interfere or snap onto by accident. 2'4" by 6. Oh, forgot to put the D for dimension. So rectangle, dimension, 2'4" by 6. Did I just click that? 2'4", 6, and place it. Now, if you want to move this object to be exactly in the back of the chair, you need to go to the move command. You're going to select the object you're moving, click space or enter or right click because it's asking you if you want to select any more, and you're going to select the corner here. So you see an endpoint O snap that highlights the square, and you're going to do the same thing at the corner of this bigger box. So it snaps onto it. Even though it's showing a preview that it's out on the left side, it's actually going to snap into that endpoint, creating that backrest. The other rectangles are going to be the armrests, which are 2 by whatever is left, which is 1'8". Right? Now 1'6" by 2. Yes. Okay, so next step would be the rectangle for the armrests. So I do a rectangle. I'm going to start it from this endpoint here. I'm going to type in D for dimension. It's going to be 2 inches wide by 1'6". I think that was a little short. So I should have left it actually. So I'll show you what to do if it's too short. Yes. So I have it too short here, and to fix that issue, all I really need to do is use the stretch command. I can use the stretch command, or I can select the item since it is a rectangle, and this blue point in between these endpoints, corners of the rectangle, will allow me to stretch out that rectangle. Once you have that rectangle complete, what you can do is use the copy command, or you can use the mirror command for this drawing. I would use the copy command, select the object copy, and ask you if you want to select any more. No, that's it. Click enter. Use the right corner, not the left corner, because I have a right corner and I have a right corner here where I'm going to snap it to. So I'm going to grab this one and snap it to that, and click escape. That creates the armrest. Now we can add dimensions by going back into our dimensions layer, linear, and we start placing those in, like so. They don't have to be exactly like the drawing, it just gives you exact dimensions that are needed to create this chair. So the architect has an idea what kind of chair you're placing there. We're not going to put the text in for the insertion point just yet. We'll get back to that. Okay, this one is complete, but what you might want to do is, since you changed the layers, the actual table should be on a different layer. It should be on the furniture layer. Same with the first drawing. So all I'm doing is just grabbing all the lines, and converting it to furniture layer. So we have that. Now if you need to, yeah, select everything you want to change the layer and just change the layer. Basically, for all of you guys who want to put the insertion points on the first block, there is an insertion point that you could copy and paste into your drawings. So you select that object right here, you go to copy command, you select the center of it, and then you place it in positions where you would like the insertion point to be. So you place it here, and you also place it here.
How do we get insertion if we don't want to copy it? Like we have nothing copied from.
You would create it.
From the insert.
Alright, so now we'll go back to the next one on the left here, elevator cab number. So we're going to create a rectangle again, pretty quick. Type in, oh, I can't see it. It's 2'6" by 1. 2'6" by 1 foot. Wait, I'm not sure if that went right. 2'6" by 1. There we go. And you can move it, of course. Now, let's place the text in. So this text, there's two ways of doing text. There's multiple text and there's a single text. mtext, for short, you can type that in too. It creates a box first, or a rectangle, of where you want to write the text. You specify its sizing. So for this one, we actually go about, I believe, 8 inches. Might be, oops. So rectangle, 8 inches. And to keep that number, what I do is I just click tab, and it goes into my text here. So I can write down capital letters, cab 1. Now, if that's not fixed, if the box is too small and you can't fit your text, what you can do is stretch it out here. This gray area, if you grab that, you'll see a horizontal arrow. I'm going to zoom there. And you can just stretch it out, creating a bigger box so your text doesn't automatically get pushed on the bottom. I'm going to keep it as is. I'm going to close the text editor. Yep. Did it freeze? That's frozen. There we go. Waiting. And it looks like that 8" was a little bit too big. That will happen. So all I have to do is double click that text, select it once more. We're going to change it to about 6 inches. Hit tab so that way you don't lose anything. And actually, I'm going to make it bold since it's not. Can I wait? Oh, you can't even make it bold. Not in the standard text. So if you change the text style, then you can make the text bold. There we go. Now all I have to do next is just move it into its position. So I use the move command, select the object, click enter or space. Just select the point from where do you want to move it. Whoa, where did it go? Move, select. I'm going to move it down to. Is that a 1? Alright, yeah, that's 1. So you can also change the text to something you prefer more. It doesn't have to be style 1. You can go here and then decide notes. But remember, every time you change the text, the actual scale of the text may change also. So keep that in mind. There we go. Again, that's a little too big. So it depends on what text you're using. Let me use a So I'm going to be using the dimension 1 text size, and of course this should be 6 inches, not 8. And I can keep that. And you can move it into somewhat the center. So I have that. That's cab 1. And you can leave it into dimension text or a dimension layer. That should be fine. In addition to, you gotta check, make sure that the actual exterior is in the furniture layer. That's that one. Here we don't have to do anything. The intersect text, we'll add that a little bit later. So we have that part. Now we go to our next drawing. Huh. What's this? That's weird. There is a drawing of this in here. Alright, well I didn't even know that. Okay, CAD1, that's complete. We go to the next one, which is a hexagon. To get the hexagon, what you need to do is go to your rectangles. Right under rectangles, there's a polygon. So you select that polygon. It's going to ask you for enter number of sides. So you type in 6 sides. Enter. Specify center of the polygon. I want the center to be right here. Inscribed or circumscribed. We'll keep it inscribed. We might have to rotate it. I always forget which one's which. Yeah. Inscribed is flat on top. Circumscribed is pointing upwards. And then our size, which it's not specifying here. Let's see. This is 1'6". So we type it. That's the diameter, remember. So we have to type in the radius, which is going to be half that, which is not 1'6". It's going to be 9 inches. So we type 9, enter. Whoa. Something went wrong. Let's try that once more. And inscribed 9 inches. There we go. Not sure what happened there. The thing is, if you like the text you used before and you want to keep using the same text, there's an easy way of doing this. Instead of going to the A text or M text, I'm just going to copy it over. So I use the copy command. I'll copy it over to a position where I think it should be. And then I double click it and just change the text. Move it over again as needed. And that creates that part. In addition, this one has an angular dimension. It doesn't have a vertical or horizontal. To get that angular dimension, you have to go to linear, go aligned. Angular would actually give you a degree. Align is the one you want that will actually align itself based on the points. So it shows you here a double. So we go aligned, and we select these 2 points here, one on the bottom, one on the side here. That should, which it didn't, give me 1'6". So, and that could happen, and that will always happen actually. There's a lot of things that become problems. So, we have to do a little bit of math here. To do that, we figure out, 9/16 is what exactly? 0.562 plus the 1'3", which is 15. So we have 15.565, which is pretty close to the 18 inches, but not really. So we divide that by 18, right? It's the other way around.
Minus.
Yeah, it's the other way around. So sorry. So 9/16. Should probably write that down. 9/16 is 0.56225. So I do 18 inches divided by 15.5625. I got the 18 inches from the dimension I need. The 15.5625 is from here. And this is the scale I need to change it to make it exactly 16. Now it's not going to be perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. This is not rocket science or anything. This is just creating a logo for a marker, pretty much. So I can take this text. Well, actually, it doesn't help me. 1.156. You can write that down. 156 or 7 if you want to round it up. And we go to this object here. we go to our scale command. We select the object we would like to scale. Select the center. And we're going to type in that 1.1567. So by typing that out, I will scale it up exactly 15%, that something, something, something. And that gets us to the 1 foot 6 inches we need. So that's how you resolve that. I like teaching the things that, the mistakes that I make, you will probably make, so it's the best way of teaching this, I'm guessing. Not guessing, I know it. So, otherwise I can make it easy, look simple, but it never is. So, okay, we move on. We'll do one more, and then I'll do a walk around and make sure everybody's cut up.
You scale right to change the dimension.
Move in. So it's 4 foot. So we're going to create this room number and finish box. It's 4 by 4 by 2 foot 6, and it's divided by 3 sections. So we have to keep that in mind. So we'll create that. Okay. So rectangle. Select the point. Type D for dimension. 4 foot 4 by 2 foot 6, and that creates that box. You click it first and place it. Move to center it a little bit, like so, and we're going to divide this up a little bit. You can either create a line going up a distance and across, or you can create a rectangle. It's up to you. I'm going to go with a line for this time. The line will be going up, if it's 2 foot 6, 10 inches, and across. And then the second line, we can just offset 10 inches. That creates that 3 segmented line. Plus, you need one at the center, so you from midpoint to midpoint. If you don't have that triangle, that means you don't have the O-snap midpoint on, which should be active, should be highlighted. We create that line, like so. Our next object is to move that text here. I think this should work. This text size should fit in there perfectly. You can copy, and I'm going to paste it over, and I'm going to move it around to place it into a position that looks perfect for me. As long as this computer cooperates. You can see it's not responding. So make sure you save your work. My computer is especially going slow because I am recording it. So you might be a little bit better. But make sure you save your work. If you guys don't know how to, go to the icon, save as, because this is a copy from us. So leave the copy. You won't be able to change it over. And save it into your H drive. My computer, H drive, and so forth. Okay, so once you have it saved, you go back to your room number. You start changing that text. This one's going to be RMNO number 1200. Again, the box is too small, so I'm going to stretch this out so the text fits. Now the actual text is a bit too big, so I can either go in here, double click, and change the text size. Let's say 4 inches. Actually, maybe I could do 5. I like to fill up the box as much as possible. There we go, perfect. 5 inches is what we're looking for at this box. Then you select that same text, you copy it downwards by this corner endpoint to this endpoint, giving exactly the same start position so it looks nice and clean. Double click into it. Oops, capitals, letters. This is the ceiling height, 10 foot, 10 inches. Oh, 0 inches, that's correct, 0 inches. Looks like my text is still a little bit too big, so I'm going to actually scale both. Now you don't want to scale both at the same time because they will be scaling from a specific position. Instead, what I recommend is doing it twice. So you select the object, you can scale it maybe 0.8, so it's 80% of the size, 0.8, and so forth. That looks much better. Alright, in addition to that, we're going to add the dimensions, so linear. And of course, I did the whole project in the wrong layer. Actually, both of these. So select the objects. If you select too many objects by accident, it happens. And instead of going over and trying to click it all over again, all you have to do is hold Shift, and it allows you to deselect parts. So you hold Shift and click on the things you don't want to select it. Going back to your layer command, change it to furniture. And we move on.